Hey, how's it going everyone? It's DaikenXDan here, and being that my last showcase of Nova Desktop Lumi Engine was well received by you all and I had a great time making it, I decided to do another video pertaining to a similar topic. So, this time, I want to talk about my top 10 Honkai Impact live anime wallpapers. I was going to split it between Honkai and Genshin Impact, however, Genshin Impact don't have many wallpapers to my liking at the moment, so maybe I'll do one once the game fully releases. Now, for this top 10 list, each one has certain qualities that I look for within an anime live wallpaper, and I'll explain the place of each one as we make our way through the list. By the way, I will put all the links in the description below to give credit where it's due, and so you can all download these if you so choose. Keep in mind all of these are coming from Wallpaper Engine, so if you want to download these, you will need to have the program in order to do so. Now, this will be ordered from bottom up, and I can't wait to show them to you, so without further ado, let's start talking about the number 10 spot on my list. First one up is this RITA Live wallpaper. Now, I think this one is pretty good. It's very subtle, but I think it does some pretty nice things. I do like the glow of the lights in the background as far as the city. Rita's sitting on this nice bench, and it has some subtle movement to it, but not too much. But it just looks nice overall. Now, some of these themes do have music, and this one does too, but I don't really count the music for my taste in the themes, typically because I'm not going to be playing the music on the theme itself, because that would get a little bit annoying inside the background constantly. So just looking at the themes themselves, I think this does pretty good. It could do some more. I think maybe if they probably put some shine on the actual clothing, or maybe her dog there, or probably put a shine in the eye. I know the lights are shining, but just a few more, I think, details will probably make this a little bit more appealing. I know the background is pretty static. Maybe if the background wasn't as static or something like that, it'll probably make it a little bit more. I know some people like to put effects over the actual wallpaper, like sometimes you'll see like petals and stuff, and sometimes I give like a nice effect. Being that there's petals in the background, I think it would actually work on this one if it's very subtle in looks and stuff like that. But yeah, so this is the RITA one. So this is in my 10th spot for those reasons, and also it's on here because it is a nice dark wallpapers. I'm typically very fond of dark ones just because it's more appealing to my eyes. I just like dark aesthetic things, and it's not as bright when I'm looking at the screen for too long. So alright, up next is this Teresa one. Now, I promise you this is probably the lewdest one on this list. But I think the person who did this did a pretty good job as far as the Live2D. So they, it's basically when people take a picture and then they sort of animate it, right? So this person did pretty good. They animated the eyes, they animated the hair, the arm movement, the dress movement, as well as like one of her legs. So it got some pretty nice subtle movement. You can see like the breathing as well. So I think they did a pretty good job here. Like I said, it's very subtle though, so I don't know if it's too much, but it definitely has a lot more animation to it as far as the other one. I could definitely see this one moving a lot more than the RITA one, and like I think movement is, it's a Live2D wallpaper, and that's what we're like rating these on. So I think this one just does a little bit better job than the RITA one when it comes to like the motion that it has to display. But nothing else to like really say about this one. It's Teresa's laying in a bed, so while it's very appealing, it's not really nothing going like on in the background and such. So yeah, it is what it is on this one. Up next is this nice Seele one. Now this one actually has some really good motion to it. I definitely like what they did with this. This is very nice. You see the slashes, you see the icon in the background spinning around, all the cubes, the chains, you see like the little columns in the background moving. Everything looks really good. The only problem I really have with this one is the fact that after it does the animation and brings everything together, it sort of takes everything away and like re-loops it. I think it would be really good like once you open the wallpaper, it like does this animation for the first time, and then it just stays in that motion, right? It just keeps playing them floating there with all the chains in the background without breaking them and all that. I do have to say though, it does it in a nice way. Like they do break the chains. The slashes, as you see, the chains do like break in the black background, but that's an animation that like already plays in the background, so it's not nothing like totally special when it happens for like the final thing. But I don't know, I think if it just stayed in that one like just loop of like them just floating there with the chains in the background after it does the initial animation, I think I'll like it a little bit more better. But you guys let me know. But yeah, this is the next one inside of my list. Okay, up next is another Seele one. So Seele X Bronya one. of a kissing moment, and they're like floating in the sky. I think it's really nice. It's very subtle as far as the animation, and I think that's probably like the biggest drawback for me is the like subtleness of the animation. While you can see like they're floating in the background I think is very nice. As you can see, there are particle effects that are flowing around. Bronya's eyes do close at a certain point. The dress moves, the hair is flowing, the wings move a little bit along with Bronya's hair moving and stuff. I just want to see a little bit more movement in here. I don't know exactly what can actually move a little bit more here, or I don't know. It looks very nice, but I guess the other ones just look more appealing to me. But this does have some nice effects to it. You can see even like the little ribbon on the bunny actually moves a little bit too. I guess maybe if Bronya wasn't so static, I think that's probably the biggest thing, is like her being so static. She don't really move. Like the picture moves up and down, but Bronya herself don't really, like, none of her like body really moves. Maybe if the hand was moving a little bit, both of her hands or something. I don't know. I just want a little bit more movement in that area right there. It's just not much going on. I think that would really separate. I think that's like because Seele feels so animated compared to Bronya outside of like Bronya's face. I think it's like just the thing that sort of like pulls the whole thing apart for me. But besides that, it's really good. I like it a lot. It does very well. Okay, next up is the twins. So this one's actually really cute. I like this one a lot. You see the tails in the background. They're very well animated. They're moving up and down. They're wrapped around each other. Pretty cute. The twins are right there. Their eyes blink. You have the blossoms. You can sort of see like a blurry version of the ship in the background. But it's not really much animation going on in the background. So just sort of like just a blurred out background with the petals flowing around. I guess the petals in this aspect could, represent a maxed out affection level for that. So it actually does make sense that the petals are actually there just because it's a thing that can happen inside the game. So I totally understand why the petals are actually in this shot right here, which makes it very nice. They also got some nice movement down there when it comes to their shirt. So you see the shirt does move as well. And like I said, their hands move as well as their eyes and their tails and stuff like that, and their hair. So it's a nice movement here, especially with the ribbons on their hair as well. So nice movement here overall, and I think we're just getting closer to something that definitely I like. Now personally, I think it does, just because the background's a little bit blurry, it's a little bright, but the background being blurred out makes it a little bit better, so I can actually deal with it a little bit more than what I would normally consider something like this to be. So overall, I like this one a lot. Alright, and next up is my girl Kiana. Now this one I think is really good. You got the nice movement in the background with the particles of like, seemingly supposed to be the stars. You have like this nice like Milky Way thing in the background in the bottom right corner with like those gold spectacles sort of moving. The nice movement of the hair, plenty of nice movement around the hair. You see like the little gold thing in her hair moving as well. Nice movement of the eyes. Now there isn't like any hand movement, but you can see like she's moving around sort of. Definitely, it's definitely a nice picture overall. And then of course the movement of like the fur on like the collar, you see that it's moving separate compared to the hair. So it's just nice movement overall. It's very subtle. It looks good. It's a nice dark background. Now this one does change your bottom bar to pink, which I'm not really counting that, but I just thought that was pretty interesting that was a thing. I don't know if I actually want that to be pink, but I'm not gonna really take any points off of that just because that's there. I'm pretty sure there's probably a setting where you could probably change that back or such. But overall, very nice, smooth, seamless animation that is on a nice background that I would definitely use. And of course, I love Kiana, so a little bit biased there. But yeah, I think this one's a nice one, but we're going to start coming down to some of the more harder ones to choose, but they're definitely going to get better overall. Alright, up next is another Kiana, and this one is gorgeous. You have the nice moving background with the sunset clouds, look very nice. Then you have the wings all fluttering in different directions. I think is a nice touch. There's one that has a particle effect on it on the top right. I believe that's on her one of her hair pieces. And then of course you got a ton of movement on her hair. Nice movement on the hair overall. Nice movement on the jacket where she's holding it up, along with the hand movement. The eyes, of course, are blinking. This is just nice. It's a nice subtle movement. Nothing's too fast. You see the nice particle effects coming down as well, all over the place. I think that's very nice. So yeah, overall I think it just does a very good job as far as making everything feel seamless and overall nice aesthetic. Also, the little icon of her jacket does glow a little bit, and I'm giving that some extra brownie points as well. So yeah, they did a very good job with this for sure. I'm definitely liking this. And then of course you can see her like breathing as well. I think that always adds enough, very nice touch when you can see the actual character breathing to these live wallpapers and stuff like that. So I very much so like this one. Everything feels like it's in sync, and it's just a gorgeous wallpaper. All right, now moving on to top 3. Now this is actually my current wallpaper that I'm actually using. I like this one a lot. Like I said, I'm always forward when it's a very nice dark live wallpaper. I think this one does some pretty amazing things, especially because of the type of art that it is. This is a very painterly style art. As you can see, none of like the details are very fine. So what the person had to use, they used it very well. As you can see, the chains do move in the background. They have like these dark feather particles going around this. I think is a very nice touch. Seele herself, or Vel in this case, has a very nice movement. The eyes, I like how the eyes actually move very slowly when she blinks. It makes it sort of feel like a sad moment. The hair fluttering is very nice. Nice leg movement there. Also, you can actually see that if that is blood, I'm guessing is blood, has some nice like water effects, or like just movement effects inside there. I think it's a very nice touch. Also, there is an animation that plays where some of the like blood like comes off her like legs, her feet, and like splashes into the water, which makes a nice effect. This person just went above and beyond when it comes to this, and that's why this is definitely top 3 material. Now of course, like I said, it is it's some background movement with the chains, but it's not too much. And of course they had to add a particle to give some more like nice effects on there. So I think they did the best they could with what they had here, and that's why it's definitely here. And like I said, I am a big fan of these dark wallpapers, so that's why it's here. Very nice movement with the hands as well. You can see like the gripping of the skull. She's actually moving her hands back and forth, so I'm definitely liking overall all the movement that we're getting here with her specifically. It's a lot of good movement with her. But yeah, it's very hard for these top 3, and let's go and move on to the top 2. Okay, so if you're a Seele fan, you definitely will probably like my list, because she's getting a lot of appearances on here. She just has so many good wallpapers. This one right here is absolutely amazing. It's so much good movement in this, and the change, I think, is a huge part of what makes this top 2 material. So as you can see, you have Seele here, and like we have nice movement, and all of a sudden it switches to Vel, and it changes the colors and all that, and so much different stuff happening in the background with all the like the movement of the particles and stuff, and it very much feels like it belongs to this character. Specifically, when you come inside the bubble universe and you do the missions and stuff, there's like you see a bunch of like just floating stuff that looks very similar to what you see here inside of that space, and it fits it right. So very nice particles and stuff in the background, nice movement. Everything seems to be nothing seems too fast or like to distract your attention from the main focus that much. And overall it just looks very nice. They got nice particles when it comes to like the things coming up from the ground, and yeah, it just looks really nice. She got nice movement as well, the nice dress movement. She's moving her hands with the hand movement at the same time as also tilting the scythe. She has nice movement in the eyes, and then when she changed the veil, the eyes actually glow. You see the gleam of the red along with the crystal on her neck actually glows too. So that's actually a very nice touch, along with the ribbon moving at a different pace than the actual hair, and the ribbon around her waist is also moving too. So very, very good movement here. Very nice effects. Overall, this is a very amazing wallpaper. I very much like this one a lot. So definitely it deserves a spot in top 2. Alright, and my number 1 pick for live wallpapers is this absolutely gorgeous one of Yae Sakura. You got the nice movement of the sky once again, very similar to what we saw with the Kiana one, but what they do with the model itself, it just has so much it's movement everywhere. You have the nice movement of the ears along with the movement of the hair. Obviously her hand is moving in both different directions, so it creates this nice effect, and you see like the flowingness of that one piece that's just off of there, and of course her armor piece at the bottom is movement. Then you see the nice breathing effect of her, and on top of that they even gave her moving eyes, so you see her eyes actually change, and then when she closes her eyes it goes back to the original position. That's a very nice touch that they actually decided to do that. And overall it's just, when you look at it as a whole, it just looks very appealing. It's like, it's so seamless as far as how this animation goes. I don't see anything that actually, you know, changes it in any way to try to find anything. They do have one particle effect, which is the nice little steam at the bottom, is very subtle, so it doesn't take away from the main focus. And overall, it's just very pretty. I like it a lot, and I think whoever made this did a very fantastic job of making this wallpaper come to life. Man, this was inside the game, this would be this would be mad pretty. But yeah, so this is my #1 pick for Honkai Impact Live 2D wallpapers. And that's it for my list. Like I said, these are my top 10 wallpapers from Wallpaper Engine, so probably there are some live wallpapers or some other applications that maybe have some other wallpapers that I wasn't able to see, but these are the ones that I was able to see from the application that I use. Like I said, these are my personal opinions for my top 10. I would definitely like to see in the comments below what other wallpapers you guys actually like the most. So, you know, just tell me the application name on top of the name of the wallpaper, and I will try to, you know, to look at it and see what you guys like. But yeah, this is my top 10. I just wanted to do it just for a short fun video with you guys. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video or liked anything I said today, drop me a like. I greatly appreciate it. And if you want to hear more from me, follow me on my socials. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you know the next video goes live. As always, my name is Daiken, and I'll see you next time. Signing out.